Good morning once again. You're welcome to Corporate Ethics with Ayodele Adebayo, Mr. Ideation. And of course, you realize that last week we had a series and it was such a very, very robust one. And I remember that at least towards the tail end, we hinted on, something very, very profound within communication, which of course I term as the nucleus of communication. And so because of that, that is what we're going to be looking into today's edition. And of course, I still have with me Dr. Triple A, on set today, just like last week, and he's going to be doing justice to that as we discuss together on effective listening for communication or for workplace communication. And when the time comes, I'm going to be involving him. But before that, I'd like us to have a short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back. This is Corporate Ethics with Ayodele Adebayo, Mr. Ideation. And like I said earlier, we're looking into effective listening within communication for workplace productivity today. And I have with me Dr. Triple A Adeni Atiba. And together we'll be looking into this and we'll be looking into how we can, of course, uphold effective listening, especially within workplace, as it regards communication, so that we can have effective communication, because we believe that once we have effective communication, definitely we will have productivity within the workplace. And so you're welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
Triple A.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me around. I'm grateful.
Thank you. All right, listening.
Yes, sir.
Listening. It looks very, very inconsequential, but the effect of it when it's not done properly, is huge.
Yes, it is. Okay, what a way to start. Okay, yeah, what comes to mind when it comes to listening is on the very, I like to start very on light notes, basically. Okay, so one of it is, if you don't understand listening, go check out the married couple.
Okay.
Check out married couple.
Okay.
So picture the scene. The man is sitting in the sitting room. His leg is crossed.
Yeah.
And he's checking out the dailies, or actually browsing to his tab to check the latest news.
Okay.
And then the woman walks in, and then she's talking. And then after like 2 minutes, she says, "Are you listening to me at all?" And then the guy says, yes.
Yes.
You were saying that then the lady says, no, you were not listening. You were not. It happens most times. I think that is just a practical scenario of what happens every day in life.
Yeah.
We all get so carried away with what we're doing that when other people are trying to communicate to us, we're actually carried away with our own activities, and we're not listening to them. And like I was saying last week, like listening, it goes beyond you just watching the person's mouth, trying to phrase out the words, frame the words and all that. No, it goes beyond that. It goes also to looking at the person. In fact, there's a psychology to listening. If I'm looking at you, if you're talking to me, trying to communicate to me, and I'm not looking at you, it suggests to the person speaking that I'm not interested in what they're saying.
That's true.
All right, so when somebody is trying to communicate, I should look at the person, give the person my what we call 100% attention.
Okay.
Focus on the person. you know.
Yeah.
And also try as much as possible to understand. It goes beyond just hearing, it goes to understanding. And that level is the level where when somebody is saying something, you ask the person a question. You actually say the same thing all over again. So, for example, you're saying to me, oh, so our new stock is about 100,000 naira per unit. And I'm like, really? Are you saying that our new stock is now valued at 100,000 naira per unit? And you say, yes, that's what I'm saying. Oh, I understand. That is listening.
Listening.
So at every juncture in the communication, in the process, we try to ask questions. So if I don't understand what you are saying, I should actually stop you and ask you questions.
For clarity purposes.
For clarity purposes. So is this what you are saying? The same thing happens. You know, when I started using this thing at home, my wife first felt it was hard. I mean, you know, she would say this, and I would say, are you saying this? I want to understand what you're saying. Are you really saying this? She would look at me like, yes, duh. That's what I'm saying.
Of course.
But for me, it mattered because I'm the kind of person that when I hear something, I store away. So I don't want to store away wrong information.
Sure.
Because I'm going to make decisions based on that. The same thing as a business person. We should not store away wrong information. Away. No, we should clarify the information. So somebody comes to you and says, you know what, sir, we're actually down 30% in our sales. You're like, what would you say? Sir, I'm saying that we're down 30% in our sales. Really? Oh, make a mental note of that. Mental note means I store it away. You file it away. And then when you are talking to the board of directors, or you're talking to probably the sales manager, or talking to the sales team or the sales force, then we can say, I got this information that we're actually 30% down in sales. What should we do?
It's true.
So we file away. We take information, whether we like it or not. The brain is one of the most powerful, if not one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful thing that the computer ever. I mean, it's complex. I don't think any man can duplicate it again. Those people that work on the brain, they know that there are millions of cells, or trillions, or whatever it is. I mean, I'm not an expert on the brain. But the issue is, it has the ability to retain things. And so we've got to be careful what we listen to, how we listen, and how we take in information. Is it right? Is it something that we should store away? Is it something that is credible? Is it something that would push the company forward, the organization forward, or actually draw us back? Then how do we use that information? So listening is very, very foundational to communication. And without it, the communication in the workplace or anywhere, whatever, whether in the family, whether it's like that. You know, in my work as a career success coach, I tell people that it's not just your work alone. Your relationship with people, your friends, your family, your relationship with your God, your relationship with your money, everything is interconnected. And whether you like it or not, all these things, they're also bound by communication.
That's true.
So, and at the bottom of all that, the cornerstone, the corner piece of communication is listening. So if we are not listening, the entire life is already affected.
Okay. Now, if you look at listening now, should we look at listening from the employee to the employer? Or we should look at it from the employer to the employee, or we should look at it in those two ways?
Oh, we should look at it in two ways. Okay. If an organization is
because some employers, because of the kind of emotions that they sustain, will tell you that who are you that I should listen to you. And meanwhile, on the long run, you know, the two of you. Okay, it might not even be an employer. It might even be maybe like a manager to, of course, you know, the subordinates, or you know, maybe a leader or a boss or somebody, you know, higher, and you look at it that by the standard of who I am here, I am much more than you, so why should I listen to you? But You know because we see things like that in this part of the world,
Yes.
in Africa,
Yes.
and of course in Nigeria, because of the
Yes.
peculiarities
Yes.
of how people want to feel.
Yes.
You know, want you to make them feel as well.
I was in a place sometime last week, and I was talking to some staff, and one of the things I said to them is that it's criminal to think that you are the smartest. Nobody is the smartest anywhere. It's just criminal. The most effective people in the world, the most successful people in the world, surround themselves with people who are smarter and better than they are.
That's true.
A leader knows that he's not the best. He knows that for him to move forward, to achieve things that are normally impossible for men to achieve, you need people who are better than you in those areas to get you there.
Yeah.
And when you get them, you don't treat them like trash. You listen to them. You listen to them. You surround yourself with people. So I was talking about the BI triangle last week.
Yeah.
We have the product level, we have the legal level, we have the cash flow, we have communication, we have systems.
Yeah.
Sometimes the business leader is great at a particular level. Some leaders, some CEOs are extremely creative and gifted with communication. Some, it's the product design. When they design a product, it's the best the world can see.
Of course.
Some people are great when it comes to legal things, when it comes to, you know, registering stuff like that. And some are very gifted when it comes to cash flow. That is how money comes into organization and money goes out. And some are just extremely great with building systems. Like the man who put KFC on the map.
That's true.
He was just excellent with systems and structure. All right? But he was not the brain behind the product.
That's true.
So sometimes you are gifted at something at a particular level. So what do? You actually go ahead and you look for people who are as great or even greater than you are in those areas where you are not strong, and then you put them around you. And make sure that they're people you can trust.
Yeah.
Otherwise you will not listen to them. So it's just criminal to think that you have an employee that you cannot listen to. I mean, for God's sake, why did you employ the employee? Why are you paying somebody what I call stupid money? You know, that kind of amount. And you're not taking their opinions seriously. Doesn't make sense. I mean, that's foolishness at the high level. So, when you employ somebody, you employ that, you number one, ensure that that person is the best at what they do.
That's true.
If you pay peanuts, all you have are monkeys. But if you don't have, if you're paying good, that means you have good stuff. You should listen to them. So if we're going to push the company forward, it has nothing to do. See, vision, we're called visionaire, we're called founders, sorry, let me use the word founders, or founding presidents, because we find a vision that we are selling to the people. They buy into the vision and then they take it farther than we do. The vision is for everybody to see. You make it clear so that they can run with it, and then we can push it to the next level. But if I am not listening to them, then that vision will die with me. So if I'm a business leader, it is just pure wisdom. I mean, 100% unrefined wisdom that I just employ the best and then listen to them. And if I discover that they have been corrupted one way or the other, you terminate the appointment and get somebody that you can trust. But make sure that they are always better than you are. That's how to move to the next level. Yes, sir.
Wow, thank you so much. Now, when you look at it the other way around, you look at it that listening,
yes, sir,
can of course also be seen in the light of connection.
Okay.
I mean, because it is believed that one of the easiest way to connect with the heart is by listening.
Yes, true.
When you listen, it's a little easier for you to understand what is being said. But this is one aspect I think people always get it wrong. And that most of the time in listening we pay attention to what is being said, but not how it is being said.
Oh, lovely.
So what do you think about this?
Okay, but before I go into that, sir, let me also talk about what you raised the other time also, because we just talked about the boss listening to the employee.
Yeah.
We should also talk about employee listening to the boss. Now, I don't know why people do this, but if somebody's paying my salary, somebody's paying my bills, I should listen to them.
Definitely.
I mean,
when you have not gotten
another job, I should listen to them. I should listen to what they have to say. And then, people are desperate. People want to pick up jobs because they want to actually make needs. No, you should work in a place that you believe in their core values. Work in a place that you believe in the vision. So it's easier for you to put in your passion.
That's true.
Into working, to making the objectives and the goals of our organization work. So it's very critical. So we should also listen. And sometimes some bosses are just straight-laced. What I mean by that is they're dogmatic, they are principled, they want things done a particular way. And they won't take in new ideas from people. Okay, so we have those people that are difficult. Okay, so we have them. But what happens? How do? You listen to what they have to say. Do it at their level. And if it's not working, then you tell them, oh, sir, I think I have another way. And if he rejects it, don't kill yourself.
Problem.
Life is not, you understand? It works fine that way. And if you get a better place where they will listen to you, then move. That's how it should be. But never, I don't think it's right, for you to be a subordinate in an organization, never you actually spoil the image of your boss.
That's true.
Not in any way. It doesn't work well. It won't end well. It won't end well. It won't end well. Some people go to other places and they want to go work, and then they ask them, so how was it in your other place? And then they just spoil they spoil their boss, they talk bad about this or the left and those people are actually measuring them, they are actually marking. And in most instances, you will see that they will not employ them because they're thinking, if you can spoil your boss like this, then you will spoil us too.
Of course, yes, definitely.
All right. So now, you were the other question.
Yes.
You were talking about
how people pay attention, while listening.
Yes, sir.
But most of the time, people are actually, listening to what is being said, but not actually listening to how it is being said. Because sometimes, most of the times, or sometimes, the message might actually really be in how it is being said, not even in what is being said. Sometimes.
Lovely. Okay. So yesterday, I was actually talking to a group of people that I mentor and I coach them. I do them online. And I was talking to them and I said to them that nobody is worthy of your scorn. But everyone is worthy of your sensitivity. Nobody is worthy of your scorn. In other words, don't ignore anybody. Don't look down on anybody. Listen to everybody. They're worthy of your sensitivity. Because look at what's happening these days. Suicide rate is high. Everybody's getting depressed and people are not picking it anymore. Because we're not connecting to our humanity anymore.
That's true.
We're no longer humans. We become like robots. We wake up in the morning, we take a bath. Probably if you have a white man mentality, you pick up some coffee, rush out, dash out, then you take some fast food, you're rushing somewhere, you don't have time to greet somebody, you're not saying hi, you've not even called your family members in a long time, you don't even remember because you're just like that. We need to every now and then connect to the core of our humanity.
That's true.
And be sensitive to the other person. When I'm moving around, sometimes I'm looking at people's expression. Are you okay? Are you feeling good? I mean, for God's sake, it's just part of being human.
That's true.
Are you fine? What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm having a bit of headache. What happened? Are you a bit stressed? Oh, what's going on here? I mean, I try to, as much as possible, find out. And I noticed that people are fine with it. I mean, for God's sake, some people have walked through tons of people, and I mean hundreds of people, and nobody noticed how they were feeling. And sometimes you have to send some people home because they're actually not feeling well. They just came to work. Now you need to get them to be at their best. When you train, like I said before, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So we need to get to that level where we begin to be human again. We need to be humane in our reactions to people. Be sensitive. So I need to listen more, not just the way they're talking, but what are they saying? Why are they saying what they're saying in the first instance? Why are they saying it? So we need to start to look at these things. It's very critical. And I always say, sometimes my kids will come and they're talking to me, and sincerely I'm working. I have a schedule, I have a deadline, and sometimes I tell them, Daddy is working, and all that. But every now and then, I put the tab away. Drop it. What's going on? Talk to me. What's the issue? And you touch them. Scratch their head. What's going on? Oh, this one. Sometimes it's one small thing, but it's very big for them. The same thing happens to everybody. There's a child inside every one of us.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a boy inside every man. There's a girl inside every woman. Everybody wants a bit of petting.
Yeah.
Everybody wants a bit of acknowledgement that I see you. I know what you're going through. Everybody wants that beyond the money. So see the medical doctor that just parked his car and jumped into the lagoon. He needed somebody to care. He needed somebody to ask him, what's going on, young man?
That's true.
Everybody was seeing a very well-connected, successful doctor, but that guy was going through stuff. That's what's happening around here now. That's the society is reflecting the fact that we've become insensitive. Our leaders are insensitive to the plights of people. Our people are becoming insensitive to one another. Now everybody's just running around trying to fulfill needs, and then when they get it, they sit down, they feel empty. They're alone. Nobody to talk to, nobody to relate with. Now we can all chat on social media, but we see ourselves, there's no word to say. Sad. Now we need to go back to that. Back in the day when we were younger, we would play games. Now the kids now watch cartoons.
Yeah.
They don't connect anymore. There's no connection.
Of course, that's true.
So these days, so intentionally, I grab the tab from my children. I say, you guys, yeah, talk to one another. Just play. No cartoon today. Just talk, play around, and all that. Or sometimes I tell them, I give them a small book, and they start reading. You know, so that they can connect. Life. Understand what somebody's going through. That's why we don't feel people anymore, sir. Because we're online more than offline.
Wow. Okay, so as we bring this to a close,
yes, sir.
I'd like you to talk to us. What are the effective skills we need to build around listening, to people, like a take home for everyone watching?
All right. I'm just going to reiterate what I said before, that when you're listening to people, it's just very important that we go ahead and, don't just hear what somebody's saying. Try to understand why they're saying what they're saying. And to do that, you have to ask questions. Questions are very critical to gain clarity. So ask question. Is this what you are trying to say? When you get it, then listen to the person again. Then do all the cues. Saying, I understand, actually tells the person that you are you're actually connecting, that you are with them. Then look at them, stare at them, look at them intently. You can look at them in their eye. If it's an elderly person, in some cultures, it's rude to look into their eyes, but at least, try to give them a sign that you're actually listening. Oh, sir, okay, sir. Okay, ma, I'm listening to you. So these things, communicate to them. It gives them that warmth, that feeling that this person is really listening, and then they can actually pour their hearts to you. This way, we've had people who were contemplating suicide open up their hearts to people because one person decided to stand out and really listen to what they're going through. And then they were able to pour out their minds, and they said those things, and then things work. In the workplace, if we practice listening, it's something that will really help us out. If bosses can listen, if colleagues can genuinely listen, not because we want to backbite or gossip or spread the news that this person is going through this, but we're doing it with the view of helping one another because the organization is our own. Knowing that if this organization prospers, we all prosper, and every staff is a family member. If we do things like that, I believe that in life, our organizations will work and prosper better.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sometimes ago, I saw on the social media, somebody tried to put a picture of the two ears, both the left and the right side ears, put it together, and if you put it together, of a truth, you see it will bring out the image of the heart.
Wow.
How the heart looks like. Wow. So which means that the ears is the part to people's hearts. So which means if you are listening, listen with your ears, listen with your eyes, and at the same time listen with your heart as well. Especially within communication, because if you make use of these three things, it will really help you to get the best out of communication at the workplace. And because don't forget, if there's communication breakdown, there will be operational breakdown. If there's operational breakdown, then there will be, of course, there will be no profit. Money will not flow in, especially if there's communication breakdown between you and your customers, the people that brings in the money. If there's anything, I mean, between you and them, it will not flow. And once money is not coming in into the organization, there's no way to flow to your pocket. So you need to understand that whatever you do at workplace is either directly or indirectly affecting you as well. But let's all come together to work towards productivity so that we can have the best that we really intended to achieve for our workplace. All right, this is where we draw the curtain today. We'll see you next week by God's grace. Keep being the best that you have to be to your jobs. I love you. He keeps